Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Lieb for anyone who might be watching for the first time. And my new venture is a fitness studio. So if you want a place to work out with your friends where your instructor and your fellow studio members are all there to reach a common goal, which is the best version of you, then this is the right place for you. Our app has technology that is going to allow you to track your workouts, and you can even challenge your friends to join you on those workouts. We do have a variety of classes to choose from, and there are many available times throughout the day to fit into your busy schedule. So this week, some of the things that I wanted to talk about were the demand, creating that demand. Now, demand for my specific business idea is going to be different because of where I'm located as far as my city. If I'm going to be opening this business in a big city, it would probably look very different. As I've mentioned in previous videos, there's several other competitors in this area in Pensacola itself, but none of them are closer than 18 minutes to where I'm at currently. And I do live in one of the fastest growing parts of the city, which is also where I'm hoping to launch the first studio for my new venture. Um, I am hoping in a way that the convenience as far as location is going to attract business, and many of the subdivisions are very new, so there's not a lot of other businesses around, period, and definitely not any kind of fitness studio or even a gym. There's not going to be a lot of competition in that area, but I know that it's going to change in the next several years. And I have talked to other residents in this area who've also mentioned, the expressed a desire or wish that there were some place they could drive to within a closer proximity where they would be able to work out and get some exercise with other people. I understand that that's not going to be the only way to create demand, but I am hoping that it's going to help with the branding, at least during this time, at least to get started, and then once that happens, to be able to expand into other locations. But I'm hoping that's going to help with branding too. It's just maybe a little bit of the novelty. Since I don't believe price to be a major pain point based on my initial interviews, I am hoping to create demand more so around the fact that this service is needed and that people are interested in this service, instead of focusing so much on having the most competitive price. And then I also want it to have more of a boutique studio feel, where there are various classes offered and it's not just one, kind of more of like a corporate studio. So as far as the web and any other channels, most of all of the marketing and advertising is going to be done online. So there's going to be maybe instances where partnerships will take place with other local businesses. If it's, right next door to other businesses, it is going to allow businesses to display maybe promotional material, and then vice versa. We would also display their promotional material. But besides that, I'm not expecting, that we'd be using billboards, at least not at first. Um, but I definitely think there would be like announcements, maybe any local stores that would allow marketing, any kind of promotional flyers or anything. The business is going to have a social media presence and encourage customers to use the company's social pages during or after workouts, such as sharing your workout, tag the company, maybe have campaigns like that where we encourage the clients to put something on social media. With evangelism, or if as far as existing need, I do feel like it's an existing need, it's an existing market. The approach is going to be different than if I were entering a new market with a brand new service. So I'm hoping the service is going to be differentiated by having an app that's tracking the workouts, inviting users to join challenges and groups with their friends, or join those challenges with people they meet while they're working out. And even maybe if they have a friend that's going and they can't go at the same time, like they can still be part of the team, and earn points and get recognitions for completing so many challenges. Um, from my research, the interviews that I've conducted, studio workout seemed to elicit some kind of social response from a lot of people that I talked to. So I am going to encourage the accountability aspect as much as possible. Not that I am necessarily modeling their business model, because I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know with Peloton, with their success, and where it has like leaderboards and you can give high fives to people during their workouts, the instructor can give you high fives, and then it celebrates milestones. So I do want to have similar features to those, and more, even more so, as far as like the interaction, interactive, and that way you can choose too. It's not like you're forced to do it, but it does form a lot more camaraderie doing that. So that's something that I would like to make sure that the app is capable of doing. For marketing, I have thought about different marketing tactics. I've been thinking of it all along, and it's maybe just because of marketing classes that I've taken through my MBA career, and I've thought about these tactics. And then I've also considered some of the feedback that you guys have given me about word of mouth marketing. I think that's very, very strong, especially with a small business in a new area. And we're not like in a big city or anything like that where there's tons and tons of businesses and lots of competition. I think word of mouth is going to be strong. So my strategy right now is going to be to offer a $25 gift card, Amazon, or whatever the choice, to the person if they refer their friend, and if the friend signs up for at least a 1-month package, since the first class is going to be free anyways for new people. So then they can basically keep getting gift cards for every person that they sign up. So we'll have to obviously have a tracking system for that, but it's really simple, it's straightforward. Here's a $25 gift card, thank you for referring. And I think that can encourage the early evangelism too. If people enjoy being rewarded, and that's a simple way that they can do that, and they can keep getting gift cards. And then whoever that new person is that signed up now, they might want to start signing people up, so that way they can also take advantage of getting those gift cards. So if this proves to be successful, I think I'd like to increase the gift card amount. I mean, $25 is $25, but I think it would be nice for the referral program to be able to increase that. It's just depending if it's going to be successful or not. So that's something that we would have to test to tell. As far as any changes this week, as I discussed, I made some changes to my marketing and referral ideas that I discussed. During my research, I noticed that there are some studios, not necessarily here, but just all over. When I looked at like different studios in the U.S. that offer fitness classes for teens. So I think I may have overlooked this market just a little bit, this market segment. And it is interesting that I would overlook it, because I did start working out for the first time when I was just turned 16. And I think a lot of teens might be interested in this as well if we marketed it right. When I looked at some consumer reports, the average age is 30 for these type of studios. So most likely we are going to be including people who are younger as well, maybe younger than I had initially predicted. So I'm also going to be looking at coming up with some pricing. I have just kind of some tentative pricing options. I'm planning on just doing maybe $25 for a drop-in class. You just want to come to one class, $25 class. $110 for 5 classes, $200 for 10 classes, and then $99 a month if you want to do unlimited, and then 20% discount if you end up doing a 6-month contract. So that's what I'm thinking about for now, and that is subject to change. I'm going to research a little bit more about the costs and see if I can figure if that's going to make sense. I did discuss a little bit in my last video about the interviews I've conducted so far, and just to summarize what I discussed, I am planning on having at least 5 more interviews by next week, by the next module. And in short, what I found is people with kids are interested in childcare, and people without kids are not interested in childcare. And I guess maybe I didn't need to do interviews just to find that out, but I did discover that people with kids, that is something that's very important to them, is having childcare. So as I kind of mentioned, I think that's going to have to be something back burner, just because there are still enough people who are willing to go who are not in that stage. Like I mentioned, teens, young adults that don't have children, maybe people who their children are older or have already moved out of the house. They are still prime candidates where I don't necessarily need to have childcare to reach that market segment, but it is something I'd like to have in the future. And I also discovered through those interviews that price is not so much a significant issue for most people. I think people are looking for quality and they're looking for other characteristics before price. Flexibility is more important that for most people than price. They want a variety of classes. They want hours, where they can go early if they need to, later in the evening. So those are the things that I'm looking at right now is, making sure that there are, during those prime times where people need classes available, is that's when the classes are going to be available. So I am looking at some other partnerships, and that's something that I'll go over a little bit in next week's module. There are some companies out there that take care of the technology aspect of fitness, and that's something I'll be going over next week as well.